Have you ever wondered what a small creator and filmmaker carries in their camera bag? Well, I'm about to show you what I carry in my bag for all of my film shoots and for creating YouTube videos. But before I show you what's in my bag, first we need a bag that's functional and lightweight. And that's where BREVITE comes in. Now, just a disclaimer, they did send me this bag, but they're not paying me to say anything good. All of these opinions are my own, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a really nice bag, I recommend it. BREVITE has two bag models, the jumper and the runner. Each one comes in a variety of different colors, but because I'm basic, I chose black. The other colors are quite nice though, and they have a few that look retro which may appeal to Fujifilm users. Now I chose the runner because of its style and I wanted to try its magnetic latch, which I found out I love. All the zippers flow nicely and don't catch, and even though it may look small on the outside, it has a huge amount of space on the inside. It also has dividers for keeping your gear separated and safe from banging against each other. It also has a few pockets just for miscellaneous stuff like here. Here you can see there's a pocket in the back for your wallet. It has a place for storing your water bottle on the side. And overall, it fits my camera gear well, as you're going to see. The bag is also very comfortable. When I put it on for the first time, I actually forgot that it was on my back and searched the whole room for a few minutes before realizing it was actually on my back. In other words, this thing is very light, even with most of the equipment in it. It's also made from recycled water-resistant material, so it's helping the earth while keeping your equipment safe. So if you've been looking for a bag, I highly recommend BREVITE or BREVITE. Not sure how you say it. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to check it out. And thanks to them again for sending me the bag. Now that you have a bag to put your equipment in, I'll be moving on to what I bring with me so that you have an idea of what you should bring yourself. Now first, the most important item is your camera. You can't shoot film or video without a camera. Now the camera that I'm currently using is the Fuji X-T3. Now this model is a little bit older and it's actually going for a little cheaper now than the newer models, but it actually works really well. It has 4K 10-bit video options at H.265. Really, this is probably the minimum that you want to shoot for like any project. I wouldn't get a camera that is 8-bit or anything like that. 10-bit standard, 4K standard. Even though this camera is old, it has all the capabilities you need. Now with this, you can bring a few different lenses, but what I usually do is just use the kit lens because really I'm just running and gunning it. I'm not usually worrying about different types of lenses and what I should be bringing, so I just use the 18 to 55mm kit lens, and that works well for me. Now you can get some of Fuji's newer cameras that have F-Log 2 and stuff like that with more dynamic range. My camera personally has 11 stops of dynamic range, so it's not that big of a difference. But some of the new ones have 14 stops, which is very useful. And if you don't know what bit depth is and dynamic range, I'll just explain it really fast. Bit depth is the amount of colors. So 8-bit, if you have 8-bit, it's going to maybe sometimes have some banding. It's not going to have a wider range of colors than 10-bit. You can even get to 16-bit color depth, but that's very high, and that's more for like really professional stuff. And you can get cameras like that, but they're usually going to cost more. Then with dynamic range, the higher the dynamic range, the better it is usually. Like the Arri Alexa, they have 14 plus stops, but usually you want 10 or more for it to be a good camera, and mine's at 11, so I really like that. Old film used to be around 10 to 12 stops of dynamic range, usually around 12. So 11's like the perfect amount if you want to get that old film look. So I really recommend Fujifilm because it's really got everything. Now that we got the camera out of the way, of course, we need charger and batteries. Now here I have the Fujifilm charger and I have some extra batteries from Wasabi. Now some people don't like using these because there have been reports of things expanding if you don't use Fujifilm's original batteries. But from my experience, they work really well and I haven't had a problem with them yet. And I've shot 4K video, very long stretches of time, and they don't seem to overheat. I haven't run into anything yet, but you can check them out. Now, if you're looking for this equipment, I'll leave some links below so that you can check it out. I'll probably use affiliate links so it helps out the channel if you want to buy. So look down there if you need any of this equipment. Now that you have a camera and batteries, we're going to be moving on to some of the more niche stuff. Next, we have what I'm recording on right now, which is my microphone. Now, I use a Zoom H5 right now. This is what you're hearing is the Zoom H5. It's a really good mic, but the only problem is right now I'm using stereo. Usually I would have a shotgun mic plugged in, but I've been renting it recently, so I don't have one with me. Every time I need to get sound on location, I use the Zoom H5. It's a pretty portable mic, and you can plug in different mics with the XLR cables, and it shoots 24-bit depth. I do want to upgrade this to maybe the Zoom F3, where it doesn't have a microphone on it, but it has 32-bit float depth, which is a really high quality recording type. But for now, this one works great for me. It's worked for years. I've used it on films. I've won awards with those films, and I've gotten compliments on the sound with this mic. And this is literally the only one I use. With the mic, I also have a dead cat, which I put on so that you don't hear gusts of wind or puffs, and I can show that right now just by blowing on it. And you can't really hear any of that. Next in my camera bag, I have a light. I have the LumaCube. This little light helps me get some shots, like if I place it in my bag here, you'll see that it's very bright. It can light up little areas. It's great for using for practical lighting, and it's also great for using as like a little kick light, like if you need to kick on an object in the background. It's just useful to have if you just need a little bit of light, or if you need a practical to put in the scene. It can be dimmed and it can be turned up to 100%, which is pretty bright. Sometimes you don't even need to turn it up to 100 because of how bright it can get. Along with this, it also has different color temperature. The color temperature goes up to 5600 Kelvin, and it goes all the way down to 3200 Kelvin. So it can be really warm or it can be daylight. It doesn't get any cooler than daylight, and it doesn't get any warmer than about tungsten. It's pretty good for the amount of money it is. I really liked it. I got it as a Christmas gift, and I use it a lot actually in my videos. I also love the display, and it's a pretty simple design, and it lasts for a long time. I believe it lasts for 3 hours, and yeah, it's a really nice light. Really helps me get some cool shots. Next in my bag, I have a variable ND filter. Now this one's a pretty cheap one. These do get expensive. I would recommend a more expensive one because sometimes with these cheaper ones, you'll get some artifacting or some vignetting, or if you like place it up to a screen, it might turn purple and stuff like that. So I would recommend getting a more expensive one, but if you don't have the money, like I don't, then you can get one of these cheaper ones. And with this, I also have a step-up ring, which I'll be showing you now. And this is just so you get a larger size ND filter for your lenses so that you can step up to the larger ND, not have to buy different ND filters for smaller lenses. Next, I have the Color Checker Video Passport. And this is really useful if you want to get really accurate colors and if you want your footage to be as accurate as possible, whether that's with the white balance or with the colors. This will really help get you the best image possible. It also has a sharpness checker, which you can check the sharpness of your lens. These are both really useful if you want to get perfect exposure, perfect color, and really just perfect anything. It's one of the most accurate ways to recreate color in video. And last but not least, we have Hazenacan, or atmosphere aerosol. Now this is really great if you want to add haze into your scene, if you want to create more depth, shafts of light, stuff like that. This is really great. You don't usually want to use this in a non-ventilated room because you don't want to be breathing this stuff in for a prolonged period of time, like any type of fog. But it's really great to add atmosphere, like if you're in a forest, if you're like in a backyard. It's a great way to do that. And now I'm going to show you some of the smaller things that I have in my bag, which are useful to have and carry around. One, of course, my phone. So here we have a pocket knife, and this can be useful for cutting things, opening things. Sometimes you need to like screw drive things. This is really useful for that. Another thing I might use is a notebook. Sometimes you need to bring something to sketch down your ideas and you need to show other people. So a notebook or an iPad might be great. A power bank. I featured this in a video a while ago. I might get a new one. This is a solar one, but it doesn't really charge very fast in the solar. But if you're in a pinch and you're like out in the wilderness about to die, you can get like 2% battery life with this from solar power. If you charge it up, you can like charge your device like 2 to 3 times. But yeah, a power bank is very useful and can help in many situations. One of these air blowers, very useful if you need to clean your lens or your device. You also have a microfiber cloth, great for cleaning your lens. Now, last, I just want to thank BREVITE for giving me the bag again, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more. And if you have a Fujifilm now and you're interested in learning how to color grade it, I suggest watching this video here.